Hi guys, Jim Wilhelm, one man with a mic here. And as promised, here is a second tale from the road. This one is a short one which kind of has like a supernatural, kind of spooky-ish vibe to it. We were touring in North Carolina, me and a theater group, and there was four of us again. And we had, if you've ever driven in the South, you pretty much know when I say Interstate 40. That's pretty much the major highway down in the South, Interstate 40. So we're traveling along Interstate 40 trying to get to the coast of North Carolina. We're at the other end and we got about a half tank of gas and we know we're not going to make it unless we fill up. So we start to drive and drive and drive. And we say, well, you know, we're about a little under half tank now. We're going to pull over to this Flying J gas station. And if you from the South, you know what I mean by Flying J gas station. So we stop at this Flying J gas station. What's one of those massive ones with like 38 pumps, a restaurant attached to it. And I get out and I'm trying to fill the tank up and nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. So I walk up to the front and the lady says, hey, sir, I'm sorry, but we were supposed to get a gas delivery earlier today, but the truck broke down. Our delivery truck, it broke down, so we're all out of gas. I said, you're all out of gas and all these whatever number of pumps? And she says, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Not much I can do. I really apologize. So I said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're still at a half tank. I'm sure we'll find another gas station. So we get back in the van and we're traveling for maybe another 40 miles or so. So look, there's another Flying gas station. Flying J gas station. So we pull up into the station. And it's not as big as the last one, but there's about 15 pumps. And the same thing happens. We pull out to fill the tank up and nothing happens. So I'll go up there and say, hey, we're having a bit of trouble getting gas in our tank. Is everything okay here? And he says, oh, sir, I apologize for this. We're going to have a delivery earlier today. The truck broke down. We can't explain it. And I said, really? We left that station about 20 miles or so back, and you know they had the same thing. He said, really? He says, yeah, that's the second time we haven't been able to get gas because the truck broke down. And so the guy says, well, you know, if you can make it about 50 miles, there's another Flying J gas station on this road. And there weren't a lot of gas stations in that particular area where we are, or we would have tried something else other than the Flying J. There weren't a lot open that time of night. So we said, okay, we think we got enough gas to make about 50 miles, but not much more than that. So we go out on the road and we're trying not to speed too much. We're not running things that might burn gas, like air conditioner or anything like that, nothing, and trying to conserve as much gas as possible. So we get to this Flying J gas station. And for the third time, there's no gas in any of the pumps. It's another one of those really big Flying J gas stations with about 30 or so pumps and also extra pumps for diesel trucks and whatever. No gas. No gas. The truck is there, but he can't get the whatever on his truck to work without leaking gas all over the place. So another truck breakdown. So let me break this down for you. Not one, not two, but 3 times we attempted to get gas. We can't do it. So the guy says, well, if you want to, you can park your van over there. You can come inside. I'll give you a voucher for a meal. Y'all can hang out. He said he might have the truck fixed in a couple hours, maybe 3 or 4. He says, okay, that's fine. We can hang out. We're kind of hungry anyway. We're frustrated. We're a little bit angry and tired. So we said, oh yeah, well thanks for that. We'll take you up on that. So we have breakfast and we're sitting around, and the guy comes in and says, hey, the truck's fixed. He's filling the tank. It'll be tank number 4. I want you to. I'm going to let you guys know that for tank 4 is going to be filled first. So why don't you go ahead and pull your vehicle over to that tank? So okay, thanks. So I get in the van and I hear this. Fast little ticks. Power's not getting to the starter. And I don't know what's going on. So I get out, pop the hood, and I look at the battery. And I say, okay, this battery looks weird, because if you're familiar with cars, you know that the battery's got these contact points like this, and it's got a little wire that goes over each one of these contact points. And the plastic on these wires is bubbling and melting, and it looks like it's melted and oozed off. And I said, I asked one of my friends, say, okay, like, crank it again. So she cranked it, and I see a little spark happen from these contact points. I was like, oh no, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. Because every time we're on the road, if you have to have a vehicle repair, it's expensive. It takes expenses away from things like food, gas, any other thing you may need on the tour. So we told the guy about it, and he says, well, we got a mechanic on duty, and because, you guys have been through so much, he's going to take a look at it, and he's not going to charge you anything. So the guy came out and says, you kids are lucky. And I said, lucky? What are you talking about? We 3 gas stations, no gas, and now we're here and we've got problems with our electrical system. And the guy looks at me in the eye and says, I says, well, what? And he says, your electrical system is arcing. And it has been, probably has been for the last 3 or 4 hours, based on how stuff is melted and corroded and singed here. And he says, for some reason your electrical system is causing heat and it's arcing without even having the key turned on. I don't know why that's causing that, but it's a major fault in your electrical system. And so he says, well, how is that lucky? And he says, well, if you would have put gas in this thing while that thing was arcing and sparking and hot, the fumes would have ignited. Your van would have had the really big risk of exploding and killing you all. And he was dead serious about that. And as I thought back, I said, wow, that's got to be God right there. It's got to be God right there. Because not 1, not 2, but 3 gas stations had vehicles break down that prevented us from putting gas in and possibly the fumes happening to boom. Now there was gas already in there, but it was in the engine, and there wasn't gas fumes coming off the engine. You know how they tell you to not use your cell phone when you're filling up, or anything that might cause a static charge, because it would ignite the fumes if you're filling up? And it's kind of like that situation. So we thought, man, that first pump had like 30 pumps, no gas whatsoever. Second station, a little bit smaller, no gas, couldn't fuel up there. Third station had about the same amount of pumps, no gas, couldn't fill up there. He said, yeah, if you had filled up on any of those stations, there was a real possibility that the sparks caused by this faulty electrical system wiring, whatever it is, could have ignited the fumes from the gas you were pumping and just exploded y'all. Might have killed you. And it got me thinking, how close we came to being in distinct danger of losing our lives just for doing something as mundane as filling up a vehicle. Yet somebody caused 3 gas stations to not have gas, so we couldn't run that risk. That's God winking at you right there. I have a good friend who's a writer, and she talks about God winks. And yeah, that was a definite God wink right there. Would I have liked to not have to deal with the frustration of not being able to fill up and the frustration of having a broken down van and all sorts of frustration? Yeah, but I'm alive. My team was alive, and yeah, that was definitely a God wink right there. And it was kind of spooky too, because we all like felt like goosebumps going up our backs when he was dead serious about, yeah, it might have ignited these fumes and taken out not only you but this entire gas station. Yeah, and there was all sorts of stories like that from the road, you know. I think that a lot of times we don't realize how much God's looking out for us. I mean, you may not believe in God, you may not believe in any religion whatsoever, but this is my show, this is my channel, this is my story, so I think God was winking at me. And he was winking at my 3 friends. Well, we eventually got the van fixed, and we got to our show. And we shared that story with the people at the show. And I think that's a good thing to do. You reach out for help when you're going through frustrating things, but don't forget to also share the good things that happen. Because that's what the world is. Good things and bad things. And like Doctor Who would say on the show Doctor Who, good things happen, bad things happen, but we always hope that the good things can outweigh the bad. So, hope you have not only a good day, but a great day. Hope you watch yourself when you're putting gas in your vehicle. Please do not talk on your cell phone when you're putting gas in a vehicle. Please be courteous to everyone you meet. Please be helpful, please be kind, please be wise, and please remember to return again for a new story from Tales from the Road. I hope you laugh, I hope you smile, I hope you come back and sit a while. Thanks guys, talk to you later, bye-bye.